Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode number 47 of Klugula Reads His Classics. We're coming up on 50 episodes, a nice, big, fat, juicy milestone. So I will be stopping, maybe going on a slight hiatus once I reach that 50 mark for some retooling. Stay tuned. And also just to take a little breather. So I feel like I'm overwhelming you all with these constant daily. Although the fact that I have done them daily, I'm pretty proud of myself. So yay me. Anyway, um, the last four episodes of what I'm calling now season two, based on how I've listed them on IMDb, will encompass readings of a series of stories I did in high school. A lot of my classmates will remember these, hopefully fondly, because I would read new episodes kind of daily in the lunchroom as they came out. So it's called George, Frank, and Liza, and I actually have 14 different chapters, episodes, however you want to put it, of this particular story. It was all about zombies and just nonsense and language that doesn't make a whole lot of common sense. So, just as another little additional thing, years ago I did begin an actual screenplay version of these particular stories. Perhaps one day that actually will tickle my fancy enough to get back in and actually do something with it because it's just bizarre, weird stuff. So today I'll be reading the first three chapters, and then over the next 3 days after that, I'll continue until the closure. So, George, Frank, and Liza by Michael Klug. George is not nice. He is mean to others and is not nice. George is dead. George is hungry. George is one of the living dead. George is mad at the world for bringing him to life to live in hell and beyond. Here is the story of his quest for life and his search for death and Disneyland. Frank is not nice either. He is mean, too. Frank is not dead. Frank is one of the living. Frank is tired. Frank must go to bed. Liza is Frank's friend. She will go to bed with Frank. They will be naughty. The story will begin with Frank and Liza at the kitchen table eating some food that Liza hath prepared earlier in the crock-pot, the kind that Frank likes in the crock-pot, chili. They are eating. George has recently risen from the grave that he was buried in for a really long time, and it was dark down there. George is scared of the dark because it scares him. Liza and Frank are going to go to bed to be naughty some more. The end. Now, as I go into the second chapter, I do recall that as I would read these out loud to my friends in the lunchroom, that there would be questions like something. I know one of them is, are Liza and Frank actually a couple? Could the being naughty be something else? Just nonsensical, stupid questions that were part of like a kind of a quiz, I guess. So here we are going into part two. George, Frank, and Liza, the sequel, part two, the return, the revenge, the legend returns, etc. More George, Frank, and Liza, the remake. George is dead like before. He is still mean and is not nice to others. Last time he had risen from the dark place that scared him, he got scared. Frank and Liza are still being naughty in Frank's bedroom. George is walking around the house looking for a place to get in so he can get in and raise a lot of havoc and put terror in the heart of every one of its occupants. They will be scared. He is one of the walking living dead. He is hungry because he has not eaten in a long time in his grave that is deep and dark and damp and scary and crawly and gross and smelly and musty, and it's still scary. Frank and Liza heard something out on the lawn and got scared of the dark, so they have gotten up to see what all the ruckus, noise, is about out on the lawn that has green grass and bugs and stuff. Frank and Liza are still being naughty. George is still dead and still hungry and still looking for a way into the house of the unsuspecting victims of the story, Frank and Liza. George will be hungry until he gets to go to Disneyland and meet his idol of childhood when he was alive, Daffy Duck. The end of part two. It's interesting reading through these because I can remember reading these and having certain inflections, like the Frank and Liza. There was one in here that I kind of remember reading it like that, like it's a clue or something. This is so weird. Um, George, Frank, and Liza, Part 3. Frank and Liza are still being naughty in Frank's house, and George is still looking for a way into the house so that he can get something to eat. He also is going to steal some tickets to Disneyland so he can go get something to eat. Disneyland is far away, and George is going to get something to eat at Space Mountain because it is fun there, and he is still hungry. Frank and Liza are eating at the table. They are eating chili out of the crock pot. They are hungry, just like their old friend Mary. I remember that delivery. Mary is now 350 years old and still going strong. The three friends are still friends after 800 years. Mary is gone. She is in Honolulu. She was recently attacked by a monster, Frank's friend. George is one of the hungry walking living dead. The end of part 3. Dude, I remember loving these stories. I'm gonna have to, tag a bunch of people that remember these from back in the day. So this was probably age 15, age 16, definitely high school. And again, I am looking. I'm gonna dig into that screenplay, see if there's something that can be done with that because that is messed up, stupid, weird crap, and definitely a heightened weird reality and usage of language. So anyway, um, come back on tomorrow. I'll read another 4 episodes. There's 14 total, so I'm going to do 3, 4, 4, and 3. I think that's how it was going to go over the next 4 days before we go on hiatus. So until tomorrow, please check back. You can subscribe below. You can like, comment, share, and I will offer the usual quadruple S. Stay safe, smart, secure, and well stocked. Until tomorrow, guys. Bye.